Ryan Reynolds here for, I guess, my 100th Mint commercial. No, don't. No. I mean, honestly, when I started this, I thought I only have to do like 4 of these. I mean, it's unlimited premium wireless for $15 a month. How are there still people paying 2 or 3 times that much? I'm sorry, I shouldn't be victim blaming here. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/save. Whenever you're ready.
$45 upfront payment equivalent to $15 per month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Taxes and fees extra. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes. See details.
Weighing in with soybeans and a baby show straight out of Northern Missouri, we have Soybean Festival. From Hayward, Wisconsin, at 73 years young with the world's largest muskie statue, put it together for Muskie Fest. Finally, packing a punch with fire dancing and a pet costume contest, the Roseau, Minnesota Fall Harvest Fest. One of these festivals could win $100,000 in the Cenex Hometown Throwdown. You decide. Cast your vote at CenexHometownThrowdown.com. Cenex, powered locally.
Want to listen to this episode ad-free? Head on over to our Patreon. That's patreon.com/Ivory Tower Boiler Room. For a limited time, we are offering free 1-week trials to our Patreon, just so you can see all of the exciting audio and video episodes that you get to unlock as a Patreon member. And as an ITBR Professor member, which is $10 a month, you receive access not only to our audio and video episodes, but also our monthly book club. This month, we are reading The Book of Gothel, a retelling of Rapunzel through the Witch's Eyes by Mary McMinn. Join us virtually on July 21st at 5 p.m. If you have any questions, please reach out to me at ivorytowerboilerroom@gmail.com. Please rate and subscribe to the podcast on Apple or Spotify. And please mention the podcast to one of your friends. It really helps get the word out there, and it allows me to continue getting really exciting guests, Mary to continue her True Crime and Academia show, and Christian Garcia to continue to co-host our rewatch show, whether it be Smash or Queer as Folk. And we are now on YouTube, so you can listen to the podcast on YouTube. So if you're a YouTube lover, we have you covered there as well. I hope you enjoyed today's episode.
Hey, true crime friends. Welcome back to another episode of True Crime in Academia. I am your host, Mary DePippi. I hope you all have had a wonderful week this week and are, just looking forward to a relaxing summer weekend. I know I am. Next weekend, the man and I will be going down to Wildwood for a long weekend, and I just cannot wait. I literally cannot wait. I want to fast forward so hard through this work week that is coming up just to hit slow-mo for the weekend. Because I'm just so excited. I got new towels. We have, I love the chairs that we have for the beach. We've got this new blanket thing. I am ready to go and just live my best life on the beach next weekend. Seriously, I cannot wait. I have needed a vacation for so long at this point. Fun fact, though, the sound of the waves actually is a sound that, for most people anyway, I don't want to say it's for everyone, but generally for most people, and normally that activates your parasympathetic nervous system. And for those who don't know what your parasympathetic nervous system is, that is the nervous system that calms you down. So essentially, when you hear waves, most people feel calm and de-stressed, and I am one of those people. You put me at the edge of the waves barefoot and just chilling, I can stand there for hours and be content. Not even content. I can be happy being there. So, yeah, that's just how much I am looking forward to this vacation. Also, being that I travel now for work and, because I'm doing that on a more regular basis, I've signed up with different hotels and different hotel programs. So because of that, this vacation is also going to be getting us some points, which, can lead to a couple of nights for free, which is great also. Adulting is not all that bad, especially when you have to adult and travel for work. You learn really quick that you sign up for all of these things and just enjoy the points for your own personal reasons. So I'm very excited in that way to do that. But on a more serious crime note, I wanted to do a news update this week, but I was just extremely discouraged by the amount of humans that are allowed to reproduce and then allow those children to die in hot cars while they pursue their own selfish reasons. So, for that, I'm just... I cannot. I don't know about any of you, but just like and it's my own fault because I follow all of these different news outlets on social media, so they just show up on my feed. But it's still just annoying for the fact that, like, why are people fucking doing this? It boggles my mind. I cannot stand it. Much like I cannot stand the reason for the motives of this particular case. So with that, we're going to take a quick break. And like I said, then we'll get into this week's case.
Hi, this is Dr. Andrew Rimby. And when I'm not here with a podcast microphone in the ITBR, I am consulting with several clients. I have small business clients where I provide them social media strategies. I have writing clients. I've worked on college admission essays. I've worked on a graduate student's thesis. I've worked on journal article editing. And I also have worked with those who are creating a podcast or who have a podcast on social media and ideas for how to get their podcast out there and trying to target their audience. So if you are interested in any of my consulting services, you can just reach out to me at ivorytowerboilerroom@gmail.com or search Ivory Tower Boiler Room on Google, and you will see my phone number. So feel free to give me a call. The first hour is $30, and then we'll figure out what plan works for you after that. Okay, now back to the Ivory Tower Boiler Room. While it's still summer, and I hope so many of you out there are enjoying beach days, I know that while I'm at the beach, I'll have a thought pop into my mind like, wait, what am I going to assign on my syllabus? What books do I want my students to read? I know if you are a college educator listening right now, or a student, or someone who just really enjoys and values academic writing and academic topics, I have a press that you need to know about. It's called Broadview Press, and it's an independent press. I've had a few of their writers on the podcast, including Dr. Sid Dobrin, who was recently on the podcast to talk about how artificial intelligence is changing the game for humanities education. Soon, I'm going to have Dr. Andrea Sullivan Clark on to talk all about philosophies on Turtle Island, especially indigenous philosophies. And what does she think about how pop culture looks at Native American narratives? If you are looking for a text to assign your students in the humanities classroom, Broadview Press has you covered. They have a book that just came out called Academic Writing Now, a brief guide for busy students. It is designed to cover the basics of a college writing course in a concise, student-friendly format. Each chapter concentrates on a crucial element of composing an academic essay. It is available as an ebook for under $30, and it includes readings on contemporary issues like AI, climate change, and campus life. I'm so excited because Broadview Press has released an exclusive discount code, Ivory Tower, for 20% off your broadviewpress.com order. That's Ivory Tower for 20% off. Make sure you follow them on Instagram at Broadview Press. Enjoy all of your reading. After Pride Month is over, sometimes it can be hard to find our favorite LGBTQ books, TV shows, films, even theater experiences. Well, don't worry, because I have the magazine for you. It is called The Gay and Lesbian Review, and their latest July and August issue just got released. It's called Sanctuary. Well, here is what editor Richard Snyder Jr. just described about the latest issue. He writes, the impulse for any minority to seek out safe spaces or sanctuaries exists in proportion to the oppression they suffer in their social world. From the catacombs of Rome to the colony of Plymouth, the upshot of this quest is well attested. Members of sexual minorities have undoubtedly been forming their own private communities for centuries. Would Plato's Symposium be an early example? But it was only in the 19th century that sexual identity became a criterion for forming associations of like-minded individuals. Well, this issue has everything. An article about Andy Warhol's factory, an article about how Nantucket became a gay haven, how a lesbian art colony formed in St. Augustine, even how a gay bar in San Antonio fought back and won for recognition of the LGBTQ community. So, the ITBR is so excited to partner with the Gay and Lesbian Review, who is offering an exclusive discount code. Head on over to glreview.org, click subscribe, and enter the promo code ITBR50, that is ITBR50, to receive 50% off any print or digital subscription. And make sure you follow at the GL Review on Instagram to see all of their latest news. I hope you enjoy your reading.
So, this case in particular is one that I think about more often than not. Not because it's unsolved or because there was anything suspicious going on or anything negligent with this case. But it was just a case that I felt that when I first heard about it, like I just immediately connected with it. I was really getting into running at the time, maybe like the summer before, and really even more so that summer and everything. Like I was doing a lot of like 3 and 5Ks. It was around the time of the pandemic, so this was all virtual and stuff specifically. But I had always hated running, and I don't know why. I guess for me, like, it just gets so mundane, or at least in the way that I used to always think about it. It always just felt so mundane, but as I, left dance and needed something else from a cardio perspective, I, kind of gave in and was like, all right, well, this is the only other thing that I felt that I was really getting what I needed from it that was close enough to dance. So I had started running, and like I said, I was doing a bunch of these 3 and 5Ks, and when I had heard about this case and the fact that, this person was killed while they were on a run, something that I had grown to love and found to be more of a spiritual experience, it kind of just, it hit me harder, I guess. And there are times even now to this day, like when I go on my runs, I think about this case and the victim, and I just, it just reminds me to be grateful for the fact that I can go out for a run. And I hate that, but because this person shouldn't have lost their life at all. Yeah, and I've been wanting to talk about this case for a while and just didn't know when to do it, and now just felt like it was the right time. So that case is the murder of 25-year-old Ahmaud Arbery. Now, according to Wikipedia, Ahmaud was born on May 8th, 1994. He was a star linebacker on his high school football team and was known for his speed and agility. He went on to attend South Georgia Technical College to pursue a career as an electrician. But at some point, he decided to take some time off from school because he wanted to save money. And he did that by working for his father at his father's car wash and landscaping business. But he had plans to re-enroll in school in the future and pursue, like I said, a career as an electrician. On February 23rd, 2020, Ahmaud Arbery went for a run in the neighborhood of Satilla Shores, a neighborhood that he had gone for runs on before. 3 men barricaded him with their vehicles. One of them bore a shotgun and killed Ahmaud Arbery in cold blood.
Were you a fan of the TCM, Turner Classic Movie Network, and you couldn't wait to see what classic movie they were going to premiere? And when you went to Hollywood/MGM studios in Disney World, you would always go to the Great Movie Ride. I absolutely loved the Great Movie Ride, especially when we landed in the Wizard of Oz scene and the Wicked Witch of the West came out from a heap of smoke and confronted Dorothy and Glinda. Well, I have a podcast for you. My good friend Christian Garcia's podcast is called That Old Gay Classic Cinema. So he combines classic cinema analysis with a queer study angle. So some of his recent episodes include Singing in the Rain, Breakfast at Tiffany's, Cat on a Hot Tin Roof, Sunset Boulevard with our good friend Janine Cucci, the co-owner of the Soapbox NY, Alfred Hitchcock's Strangers on a Train, The Philadelphia Story, and so much more. You can listen to his podcast wherever you get your podcasts, like Apple or Spotify. And every Friday, I release a new That Old Gay Classic Cinema episode because he is now part of the ITBR network. I am now releasing his episodes on the ITBR podcast. So make sure that you have a listen because I was on his first episode talking all things The Sound of Music, which, if you didn't know, I was Captain Von Trapp when I was in high school. So make sure you follow him on TikTok and Instagram at That Old Gay Classic Cinema, and rate, subscribe, do all the things, and please help support my friend Christian's podcast. I know you're going to love it. It's officially beach season, which means I need all of my favorite Bath and Body products, but this time I need beachy scents. Well, my favorite Bath and Body boutique, the Soapbox NY, has me covered. From Farmhouse Fresh, my favorite company for all things face masks and retinol creams, to Finchberry, a beautiful bar of soap that looks like a slice of cake. I especially love the emerald one because it reminds me of the Wizard of Oz. I also love Wavertree in London. They have summer cocktail scents like peach Bellini, Prosecco, and so much more. They also have a blending bar with over 200 essential oils. So Janine, the co-owner, she knows my favorite scent is French vanilla and almond. So I've had the body wash, the bubble bath, the body lotion. If you don't live on Long Island, which I don't live on Long Island anymore, I still am getting my favorite products because the Soapbox NY has an extensive website, as well as an Instagram and TikTok where you can place your orders by just DMing Janine. So if you do live on Long Island, definitely make a day trip out to Port Jefferson. It's a beautiful beach town. So you can follow the Soapbox NY on Instagram and TikTok. That's at the Soapbox NY. And you'll see all ways to contact them. I hope that you enjoy all of their products as much as I do. I mean, I now have gotten all my family and friends addicted to the Soapbox NY. So if I can get more of you out there addicted to their Bath and Body Boutique, the better.
Ahmaud ran roughly 2.23 miles before he was murdered. For reference, I mean, personally, I run, for me, it's 2.5 miles is the minimum. I generally try to strive for normally 3 miles, and if I'm really going for it, I do 3.5, 4. But yeah, I mean, that's... It's just so sad. Like, that's just so sad to me. Travis McMichael, his father, Gregory McMichael, and their neighbor, William Rhodey Bryan Jr., chased Ahmaud Arbery in their trucks for several minutes. Video footage was recovered from Roddy's phone that shows Arbery being chased and barricaded by their trucks. Arbery was then seen approaching the McMichaels' truck with his hands in the air and visibly unarmed. Shouting can be heard in the video. Travis approaches Arbery with his shotgun. A struggle occurs between the two men because, of course, Arbery is trying to get the weapon away from him. And shots are then heard. Ahmaud Arbery's autopsy ruled that his death was a homicide via 3 gunshot wounds. 2 shots hit his chest, the upper region and the lower region, and 1 to his right wrist. The 3 men were all arrested and convicted of Arbery's murder. They all claimed to be protecting the neighborhood because there had been a rise in burglaries in the area, which that was true. And look, Ahmaud had been caught on camera looking at a new home construction site. But all he did was look around. Not that that really matters. I mean, the most you could say he was trespassing. Like, he was literally just looking at everything. But B, there was also video footage of a number of other fucking people just walking through this new home construction site. So to say that, like, they only suspected the only black man that had been, you know, quote unquote suspicious, like, to me, that's just complete and utter bullshit. Again, because it's like, he was going back to school to be an electrician. So, you know, the fact that, like, he was there, like, to me, it just seems like, and again, I don't know, but I'm just throwing it out there that he was probably just looking to be like, oh, if I were to build this house for myself, you know, because he was saving money, maybe, you know, where would I put it? Like, how would I do this? You know, based off of what I've learned already, what would be the protocol? You know, and kind of give myself a refresher. Again, I'm just speculating because, you know, it could have just been as simply of, you know, oh, let me just check this out. Let me just see the floor plan. Because, again, most normal people are interested in that. Again, maybe not everyone is walking through the house, but again, he wasn't the only one. Now, in their trial, Travis McMichael, who shot and killed Ahmaud, was convicted of malice murder, 4 counts of felony murder, 2 counts of aggravated assault, 1 count of false imprisonment, and 1 count of criminal attempt to commit a felony. His father, Gregory McMichael, was convicted of the same above charges, just minus malice murder. Now, Brian was convicted of the 3 counts of felony murder, 1 count of aggravated assault, false imprisonment, and criminal attempt to commit a felony. His lawyer did try to argue the fact that he didn't bring a weapon, and that should prove that he didn't have murderous intentions. But let's face it, he went along with the McMichaels' plan and did nothing to stop it. And also, he was driving a fucking truck. Not to say that he would have thought to do this, or, I'm just throwing this out there in the realm of possibilities, but like, your truck could be viewed as a deadly weapon, let's be honest. So, yeah. Again, those were just my theories. None of that has been proven, but just throwing it out there. Now, all of the men were sentenced to at least life in prison. A federal trial was then held in the spring of 2021 because, of course, Arbery's death had implications of a hate crime, which, again, in my opinion, were blaringly obvious. After months of testimony and presentation of evidence, on February 22nd, 2022, the McMichaels and Brian were found guilty of using force and threats to intimidate and interfere with Arbery's rights to use a public street because of his race. To this day, they are in jail. It seems that they appealed in March of last year, but I haven't seen anything since. Given that they were convicted on a federal level, I honestly doubt that their appeals will make it anywhere, which hopefully means that they will just spend the rest of their lives rotting in prison, where they belong. That is all I have for you this week. I hope you all enjoy your weekend. Please don't forget to follow True Crime in Academia on social media at True Crime in Academia on Instagram, TikTok, and Threads, and at TC in Academia on X, formerly known as Twitter. Also, do not forget to subscribe to the Ivory Tower Boiler Room YouTube. There are some awesome clips from each of the episodes, so you definitely want to check that out. Also, if you would like to listen to all the episodes ad-free, go to patreon.com/Ivory Tower Boiler Room. And until next time, my darlings, I will see you all later.